Hey, and let's see. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Hope everybody is doing well. We are here on the Farm to Table Show, and I say we as in me, um, jumping in for Red Dirt Rooster Road. They contacted me this morning, and I see the jester is here. That's right. Scotty is in the house. Uh, and hey, there's Robbie jumping in. Everybody's coming over from Dyer Family Farm. Where we've been over there hanging out. Hey, Rebecca, nice to see you in. Robbie, Scotty, everybody's joining in the party here. And the jester's in the house, so everybody be careful. Uh, and anyway, yeah, Monty and Michelle had some stuff going on, reached out to me this morning, asked me if I'd take this slot. And so, yeah, here we are continuing on with the final hour of Homestead Sunday. And so we'll see who all gets to come in and hang out. Hopefully, a few people. I scheduled it pretty early in the day, so hopefully, some notifications made it on the people's Facebook and YouTube because we are on both Facebook and YouTube with this, as always. Keith is in Belize, so if you're all jealous, of somebody being in tropical South America. Hey, Joy Bartlett, good to see you in, and Troy Sutton. Yeah, fancy seeing you there, Troy. Yeah. Anyway, Keith is out of the country enjoying a little bit of relaxation and, so, hey, doing his thing. So I'm all by myself. So y'all going to have to help me out. Matter of fact, let me get the invite link. Let's see, copy invite link. Let me put that over there in the chat. All right. All right, there's that. I'm going to pin that to the top. So if anybody wants to join in on the live with us, we'll make room on the panel. I do me and Keith, we just got to have it. We do the horizontal, not the vertical. So just kind of how we do things over here when we're doing them. It's kind of worked out. This has been like a month or so. Gosh, I guess about every Sunday we've been on live in somebody's slot, Robbie's slot, Jack's, and now this is the second time with Monty and Michelle. So we've been making the rounds. Hey there, Fear Not Farm. How are you doing over there, Dakota, Shayla, whoever's on? Anyway, catching everybody up. Keith is out of the country, off enjoying a little vacation time, and I'm here, just been working between the job and working on the properties and, our property here. Highlight today, well, this weekend, wish I'd had a camera, should have took a camera with me. Hey, Teresa Jukowitz, good to see you. And I seen you earlier over there at Dale 9 Acres. And anyway, but went to an auction. I was on the hunt for a box blade, and there was for my tractor so I can do some dirt work. And went to this auction down here, equipment auction. And for the first time ever that I've went to an equipment auction, there wasn't a box blade on the whole property. And that probably worked out really good because if there would have been, it would have cost me way more money. Those things are expensive, I found. But anyway, but in the process, and I don't have pictures loaded to show you, I ended up buying another golf cart. I bought one the last time I went to an auction, and then I brought one home Friday. I actually went and picked it up Saturday. But it's the Easy Go, looks like a little pickup. And but anyway, so brought that home. So now I got two golf cart projects to work on. But did find a box blade and went and picked that up today. So had success on that, and that's going to allow me to do some dirt work I got to do to kind of get the garage a little more accessible. I got to get things out of the garage because, as some of you know, of course, Keith and I have stopped formal production on the show, so we've not been putting out videos. We're not making videos. We're not doing our own lives in the sense of our own slot. Been doing a good job of been having to fill in here on Sunday nights, which is great. And we're not leaving the community. We're not disappearing. Just getting off the hamster wheel of producing videos. But that's made room for me to have the opportunity to do something I've wanted to do or had on the back burner. Hey, Shane, Farm All and Fords. Now that's a whole conversation right there. Farm All and Fords. One of these days we'll have to have that conversation. But anyway, So anyway, this channel is that I've got, which some of you have already subscribed, already know about. It's going to be the Homestead Garage. Uh, um, that's what I've got. Both of the ones I got, Dakota, are electric. Body wise, I mean, as far as overall, they're good. The first one I bought is a regular like golf course golf cart. And I've got to get batteries for it and get it wired up. I'm not putting golf cart batteries back in; those things are ridiculously expensive. Did some homework on the old YouTube, and you can get 12-volt batteries, 3 of them, and put them in a series there, and run your 36 volts. So I got to do that for that one, and that's pretty well about all that one needs to run. And the uh-oh. Um, let's see. Sorry, had a little text there. Anyway, so that one's all that's got to have, I think, and its tires holding air, everything seems to be there. So I'm hoping that one works out. Now this one that I bought this condition unknown. I know it doesn't start. Haven't even cracked the bed. Instead of having the big fiberglass body, it's an all metal bed and body on it, and so I've got to open it up and see. I know there's no batteries. And yeah, that's it. Go to quality deep cycles. I'm looking at getting gel. I've had a lot of success with the gel on my 4-wheeler, and I've had good success on my deep cycles on my tractors. So so both work well. But anyway, so got to get those, and I want to take on the one that's a regular golf cart. They have a conversion kit for it. It's a that puts a back seat on it, so you can run passengers around on it or whatever. So a few little projects on that. And then this other one I got as an idea is a get around on the property just to haul stuff around. It's got a bed, like I said, it's more like a truck and doesn't even look like a golf cart. It's a weird looking little thing. But anyway, all metal, and I've already had offered back on that one. So I don't know what I'll do with it, but that's those 2 projects I picked up. But anyway, with the Homestead Garage, that's what it's going to be, is all these things that I got to work on anyway. These projects with my trailers. I've got 2 trailers, both need work. Practically I've rebuilt one. I just got to finish the hitch. The other one's going to need new deck, that kind of thing. I've got 3 or 4 generators that need work. I've got the golf carts. I've got, and then that's not counting just the regular stuff around the house. So that's the idea, is just to start filming that kind of stuff, watching me rebuild my finish cutter and upgrade and repair get my brush hog up to snuff. It's in rough shape. I beat it up. It was beat up when I got it. But anyway, so that's the idea for the Homestead Garage. And so just kind of got everything lining up with that. Got to get the garage cleaned. I got to get a place to put stuff that's in the garage so that I can get the garage to have a workspace to do this stuff in. So that's my projects. And now on top of that, I'm having to work on the house, and not that that's been getting much attention lately, working on other properties and just my job and wintertime. But anyway, let me answer this text. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, it's so that's what's going on with Ryan. I mean, just been work, church, and working around things here, working on projects, taking care of rent house, doing those things, but kind of taking this little downtime, that, so to speak. I mean, as far as from YouTube, and all that, taking kind of a little bit of downtime and figuring out the pathway forward with the Homestead Garage. And Keith and I have been talking about what we'll do here, which is continue to be in on the lives, continue to be in on the Sunday socials, and be out there and pop in, fill in for people, and yes, there you go, Scotty. The Farm to Table Show, the tablers. Hashtag tablers unite. There you go. So anyway, that is what we do here. And Keith and I are all about, food freedom. And that's kind of our thing as far as together and with the Farm to Table Show. And somewhere along the way, we found this crazy homestead community, and doggone if we didn't like everybody, and they seemed to like us. So here we are. But anyway, I don't know if Ed Kirkpatrick will be on tonight or not, but if he jumps in, he'll give me the count for how many days to to Okie Homestead Expo, and I think it was 109 last Sunday. So if you take 7 off of 9, it should be 102. But either way, getting down to the wire on Okie Homestead Expo for those who are planning to go. But anyway, for the first, well, we're going. I think we're not taking all of our stuff. I think Keith is mentioning maybe volunteering, and I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Go, but don't know which way. But anyway, so that's that. But what's what's going on in everybody else's world beyond me? It's just been crazy out there. For those who are not following happenings in the world, there's a lot of nutty stuff, and I don't want to get too far off into the politics, but it's a crazy, crazy world. But anyway, so here, trying to just enjoy this time of year. We had a great Thanksgiving. I hope everybody else did too, which we talked about some last week. And, Christmas is right around the corner for those who celebrate Christmas and all that. So hopefully y'all have some good plans. Scotty, I'll go ahead and ask you, bud, how's things going? I know you got the apartment. How's things coming there with you and Karen and getting that ready? And, man, I know, Dakota and Shayla, they're still continue to work on their homestead and getting things done there. And in fact, I'll even ask them, how'd deer season go for y'all, Dakota? Go with Tabler's Garage and just be yourself, LOL. Yeah, looked into that, worked on the name, spent a lot of time on research, and it kind of had to go with what, kind of would resonate to reach out to a people. And so, that's where we came up with the Homestead Garage. And so anyway, there is a channel out there called Homestead Garage. It doesn't have the in front of it. And seemed like a good channel, but the guy all he does is tool reviews, which are cool. I like tools. I mean, I gotta love them. But, at the same token, I like doing stuff. I got projects to do, and I'm not OSHA approved, so you'll be seeing me doing things how they get done. So like one of the catchphrases with it is like, we'll either fix it or we'll make it worse in an educational way. So we'll see. We'll have fun with it. But I expect with the way things are, it'll probably be hoping to have something ready to drop for the new year. Kind of get things going with that and start 2026 off over there. But so anyway. Let's see who else hanging out here. Man, some of y'all guys, I feel like I hadn't talked to in forever. But anyway, let's see, what do we got coming up? Man, everybody wish Christmas. Okie in March, 10 Killer in April, Central Arkansas Homestead Conference in April, Mid America in May. That's all down around here. And then Ozarks, September 4th and 5th up in Marshville, Missouri. And then, of course, the Rendezvous, the 25th and 26th. Let's see. What do we got? Scotty says, we still have one container to empty. We have it decorated, and we'll put a video out when done. Awesome. Looking forward to it. And 5 deer down. Everyone but Rylan has got one so far. Dropped a video today. Soon more videos. Have to go check that out. Always good to see the young ones get out there and that next generation get it going. And I've watched some of y'all videos already where y'all do that. But so anyway, so glad you're getting the freezer stocked. Ryan has not got any, and Ryan hasn't went, so that's why Ryan hasn't got any. Almost got one with the truck the other day. That was a close call coming down the road, but it was a narrow miss. But so, but anyway, and my boy that hunts that usually gets me some. All he's gotten so far this year is a little spike. So it's been a lean year up here. Had them running like crazy before season opened up, and then they went quiet. So I see them wee hours in the morning when you can't hear it. Scotty said we're doing Christmas cards right now. All right. I'm glad there's still people out there that send out Christmas cards. I'm not one of them, but kind of something. It's like writing a letter. It just kind of has fallen by the wayside. Everybody just posts on Facebook or social medias, Instagrams, whatever, and that's kind of how people do this deal. But anyway, so yeah, so me and Shayla hunted on this video. The kids coming up. Okay, cool. I wish you'd have had a video of that that first shot you told us about, as you shared a story about with when she got her first one, went out first and went hunting. That'd have been a video, but heck of a shot. But anyway, uh, um, so yeah, good deal. But and like I said, everybody's been talking about all the different ones they've got. We had a let's see how to explain this relationship. My son-in-law's boss, they bagged a 10 point, and I forget they said it was like a 21-inch spread on that thing. It was crazy. But anyway, a pretty good sized deer, dressed out nice, I'm sure. But anyway, so yeah. But and then one of my coworkers, he had this deer. He even showed us the picture on Game Cam, right? And he got home from work and was tired. And his older son, who's a grown adult, was like, "Come on, Dad, let's go hunt. Let's go get this deer." He didn't feel like it, so he didn't go. And so he sat there and had a picture of it on the camera. Popped up. Yep, sure enough. A few minutes later, he got a picture from his son. His son had bagged this deer. Uh, yeah, that's what I said. That'd have been a great video. Brutal, but great. um, but anyway, but yeah. So he sent a picture. His son had got his deer, and so we started giving him a hard time. I said, "Well, did he use your rifle? Did he use your 4-wheeler? Did you skin it for him? I mean, did everything else, But so either way, I got a feeling it'll end up in his freezer. But yeah, it was so. But so I've had several of the guys get some wanting some more just to finish out what they needed for the year to pack the freezer. But which Arkansas is running out of time. I think I'm not sure what the dates are, but I know we've got another bow season continues to go, and I know we got another. I think we have another black powder. Well, it's not black powder anymore. It's non-conventional, I guess what you want to call it, because basically they open it up to smoothbore stuff. So there's some actual like more rifle like. Man, and Robbie might be able to explain that a little better than I can. I just know that it opened it up to like 40, I think 4570, 4470s. Anyway, opened it up to some 350. It opened up to some different rifles that weren't inline muzzle loaders or black powder, and so I don't know. I know a lot of people are happy about it, but you know, I'm sure the people who sell the inline muzzle loaders weren't real happy about it. But anyway, um, so yeah. And for those who were there, some of y'all know was just over there with Jack Dyer, hanging out with them, and then the whole Sunday crowd. And I caught up with had a few minutes over at Dale 9 Acres. I finally got in from picking up that box blade I bought. I had to drive, hour and a half, basically an hour and a half to go get it. But it was worth it. Got that 5.5-foot blade for $300. And for those who have ever bought one or have one or know, those are expensive. They go a lot more than that money. So I got a good deal, I felt like. But so anyway, so yeah, it's getting in the late hour. I tell you what, this 8 o'clock hour, this is the second time we've done it, and I think the first time by myself. But yeah, a little different on this 8 o'clock hour. Everybody is ready to go to bed, get the showers, do all that stuff. Let's see. I think they usually go 35 cal and larger, pre-certain year. I think also they must be single shot, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Oh, Scotty said, it might sound crazy, but I would like to hunt with a musket rifle. Yeah, it does sound crazy, Scotty. My my inline is pretty easy, but an actual musket, I don't know. It's a little more work. Hey, let's see. Let me come over here. All right. And let's see. Let's turn Troy on. Come on up in there. How's it going, Troy? Hey.
Well, hey there. I finally get to see y'all.
I know, right? I know.
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty good. So how you been?
I've been doing good. I seen you up here as like, hey, we've never talked
Face to face.
So
No.
a
lot in the chat.
An entire weekend with y'all, but
yeah. Well, yeah. Let's see. What's a Scotty musket is technically a smoothbore, something like a 69 caliber, while rifle is rifle. Typically, when you're talking about black powder, that'd be a 50 fire, 50 caliber or 45. Yeah, mine's a 50 cal. So, but
I wish I had another 50 cal St. Louis Hawkins that I had when I was a kid.
Oh, that'd be something, yeah. The
Yeah.
funny thing is when we get up to a certain age, we look back at all them things we had when we was kids that we didn't care about, and all of a sudden now it's like, "Oh, I wish I had that back."
Yeah, well, no kidding. I was 12 years old. That's my granddaddy said, here's this kit is gave to me. Put it together.
Right.
Okay. And it took me about a year to build that.
Right.
And when I was, by the time I was 14 or 15, it was like, of course, the ball got stuck in it. I was like, well, I can't use it anymore. I just get rid of it. So,
Yeah. That's a funny thing. I grew up, my dad didn't hunt. And so we fished a lot. So I grew up fishing,
right.
um, and we just didn't hunt. So I never really got that bug. Now my uncles would go coon hunting and all these different things, and I'd
Yeah.
run with them from time to time. But I just never really got the hunting bug
Right.
that a lot of people get. And I've went, um,
Right.
enjoy it when I go.
Yeah.
I just don't like salivate over it all year long, waiting for season to open.
Well,
Hey, Chris
back,
Thompson.
yeah. Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
When we was a kid, I mean, it was just how that was
First
regular
part of
way
growing
of
up.
life here in Southeast West Virginia. So,
Right. Well, yeah, and I've now listen, Troy. Since we're face to face now, I've seen you on the other uh, places, and you put West Virginia. Now it's West by God, Virginia. Now when you
yeah, well, yeah, I do that. But and what I say it in praise.
right?
But I've said it, and I've got chastised over
Oh
it.
yeah, I'm sure.
And it's like, you're not from here. You don't know.
Yeah,
God made this country.
it's which I've been through West Virginia a few times, been up there in that area. But
Yeah,
I had some friends I served with, some guys I served with that were from up there, and that was exactly how they said it every time. There was no,
West by God, Virginia.
that's it. And
And that's why I say it's almost heaven. It's not there, but it's almost heaven.
well, I mean, it's especially. I mean, it's I always tell people it's like that's Appalachia through and through. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Well, this is the only state in that is completely inside the Appalachian Mountain Range,
Mm-hmm.
and I got friends of mine down in Georgia and stuff like that.
Right.
So, well, we're in the Appalachian Mountains. We are Appalachia. Like, no, you're not.
Not on all. Not,
We'll let you think that, but no.
well, like I said, West Virginia's on a different playing field all the way around anyway. But no, I love driving through the state. It's beautiful up there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
and yeah, and actually, this part of the state is different, completely different than the rest of it because it's all agricultural,
mm-hmm. Right.
and because all the limestone
Right.
caverns and everything. The growing season here is great. It's all cattle and growing. In the county, the cattle outnumber the people
Oh
3
yeah.
to 1.
Well, that ain't real hard of us to say. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. The fact that the couple that I knew, I stationed with him. We were overseas stationed together, and then we got stationed. I say together. We were on the same island. We were in different
Right.
units.
Yeah.
We met. I don't even know
Yeah.
how we met, honestly. But anyway, became buddies. And anyway, when we got back stateside, then of course I met his wife and all that stuff. And I asked one day, I said, "How'd y'all two end up together?" And they're like, "Well, when you're in a town as small as ours, the options are pretty small." Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Well, it's like I go down. My cousin runs the garage downtown,
Mhm.
and I had to get my truck worked on and everything. And so I go down there, of course, call him up, come get it, take it down there and
Right.
everything. And we're sitting there, and when anytime there's a group of guys, all they're just talking
Right. Oh yeah.
in the office and everything. And Cassie, his wife, she's behind the computer taking the money and stuff, and Bucky's doing it. And when things get quiet down, it's like, hey, you guys know that I was cousins with Cassie and Bucky even before they got married.
That sounds true.
And everybody turns out like, what's going on? Well, Cassie's on dad's side of the family. Bucky's on mom's side of the family.
That's it. There you go. And try to explain that to people,
Yeah.
But
But of course, Cassie just looked at me. It's like,
Yeah, don't want to tell. Don't want to tell. Don't tell that. No. Yeah, it's yeah. We joke down here all the time too. Arkansas, Oklahoma. It's the same
Yeah.
way, and but yeah. So I see a sergeant chevron and I see a petty officer chevron up there on your hat. So
Yeah. Yeah. I went in and actually, oh, I just thought about it. In 1990, on this date,
hmm
I flew out of West Virginia to boot camp
oh wow, okay,
for Great Lakes, Illinois,
yeah,
in the Navy. And I spent 9 years in the Navy, got out because in the 90s,
oh I know,
spent the entire time overseas.
right,
And I said, I'm tired. I need to take a break. And got out. And I said, well, I just joined the National Guard. They never go anywhere. Wrong.
wrong, yeah,
I done tour 6, 7, and 8 in Iraq
okay,
through the West Virginia National Guard. Got back from one deployment.
yeah,
Moved to South Carolina. Got a job as a park ranger on a semi-tropical island,
nice, yeah,
which is great.
yeah.
But I was still healthy. I got that job when I was 10 days back from Iraq.
Wow,
And I was like, I'm still healthy, good to go. So I still got to serve my country.
right.
So I joined the South Carolina National Guard.
Mm.
And
Oop.
until I got hurt, and then they said, well, you can't re-up to retire, even though you got 3 months to retire. No, you can't do
That's
it.
crazy. And of course, I mean, I know the guard has different rules and does things different. I know with the active side, it's
Yeah.
like if you're inside that 18 to 20, they have to let you,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, no, actually, at that time, see, in between, well, after I was in the South Carolina National Guard, I was over there, and I wanted to extend over for
Yeah.
more time, so they actually transferred me to active duty
oh, okay. Well,
with the First Infantry Division,
right.
and that's whenever I think it was the third time they medevaced me out.
Yeah, there's a certain point they,
Yeah, they're like, you're done.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I get it. But yeah, I did my first hitch with the Marine Corps, and from 90 to 95, and then or 91 to 95, and then switched over to the Army. So.
Yeah. Who was you with in Marine Corps?
I was with 9th Marine Regiment when I was in Okinawa, and I was with 5th Marine Regiment in Camp Pendleton. So,
Okay.
yeah, so
because when we was in both Somalia and Bosnia,
mm-hmm.
I was stationed on LST,
right,
and so we had a mute Marine Force Recon
right,
with us.
right.
Because it was LST, large
right.
stationary target.
Oh yeah. Yes. When we
so 300 Marines and 175 Navy personnel.
Oh yeah. Out on LST, that's what it is. Yep. We I was in Okinawa when Somalia kicked off.
Yeah.
And we had been on Marine Air Ground Task Force and had like a week, maybe 2 weeks left before our rotation was up and the next unit was taken over. And we're literally sitting there on the runway, bags packed, ready to go. And they came out and sent us back to the house and grabbed the unit that was coming in and sent them. I wasn't mad about it, really.
Oh, no.
No, not really.
Well, actually, when we got the call, we was actually above the Arctic Circle doing cold weather training.
Ooh. Yeah.
And majority of us got frostbite because I was a bosun mate. I drove the small boat.
Right.
We had the landing crafts and stuff.
Right.
And so we was outside. Majority of us had frostbite.
Oh, real easy. Like
at that point. Yeah. And we got the call, and a week later, we were sitting to Somalia, a half a mile from Mogadishu.
That's y'all cooked some pretty good time. Y'all didn't.
Well, it went from 14 below to 140.
Yeah. I got, which I mean, that happened, and then I was already coming up. It was of course, Okinawa was a year-long thing for the Marines, and
right. Yeah.
I was at I think I was at 9.5, 10 months. I mean, I still had a couple of more months to go. And just hanging out. I had a good deal going, so I wasn't mad. But all of a sudden, I get a phone call and like, "Hey, you need to come up to battalion."
Right.
got over there, Italian regiment, and all this stuff, and went over. And they handed me my orders, and I had 10 days to pack my stuff, get my stuff shipped, and
Yeah.
was headed to Camp Pendleton. And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Thanks for the notice." They're like,
Yeah.
they're
That's
like,
how it goes.
we just got these. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So packed it up and came back stateside and got to Fifth Marines, and then some of the guys there had been over with to Somalia to come back, and yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah.
I'm glad I missed that. I had a lot, I heard the stories, I seen stuff, and it's like, yep, no thanks.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
switched to
yeah.
the army and caught the back end of Bosnia. So yeah,
Yeah.
so
And well, actually, because actually I was over in Bosnia at the same time at Big Mike at MT Homestead.
oh, okay,
Well, actually, we were both at Somalia and Bosnia at the same time,
crazy,
just
and
under different commands.
well, it's like um, wow, brain just went dead. Zach
I
Bauer.
have that problem a lot.
Yeah, happens when you cross over 50. I don't know. Anyway,
You
Zach
yeah.
Bauer with an American Homestead. Me and
Yeah.
him were talking, and got to talking where he was at and where I was at, and I looked at him. I said, "Man, we dang sure, and which we were in Germany at the same time. So, well, we dang sure choose some of the same dirt, I mean, that's, and
Well, like you was talking, you never know it in small communities. Things
yeah,
happen. When I switched from the Spartanburg County to USS America, which
right,
was a aircraft carrier,
right.
which I hated. When you go from a small crew to 5,000,
Yeah, my niece was on a carrier, so she told
yeah.
you so. Yeah,
But not only was there 8 people from Monroe County on that ship, my best friend because I worked in a street rod and custom shop
okay,
from when I was about 15. I hung out and they said, "Well, you're here. We'll pay you to."
man,
And one of the old guys that taught me how to work on the cars, his 2 sons, well, he had 2 sons. One was the same age I was, but then he had one 2 years younger.
yeah,
And he joined the Navy. And right out of boot camp, he got assigned to the USS America
right.
at the same time I did.
Wow, that's it was one of those weird things, like you said, small town. A guy we didn't grow up, so we grew up together in a sense. His dad was a preacher at the church where I was
Right.
going, and he didn't live there, but he came to with dad a lot and that kind of thing. And we all hung out, him, his brother, his sister. We all hung out back in the day. And
Yeah.
you lose track, you get busy. And one day I'm on Camp Pendleton, and I go walking into Burger King, and there he is standing there in uniform. What, and hadn't seen the guy in probably at that time probably a decade, and
Right.
there he was. He was a corpsman, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, we was in. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, you're fine. No, you're fine. I just say this: you run into people out there.
Yeah.
Guy that I was in Boy Scouts with, and knew,
Yeah.
joined at separate times, ran into each other.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. And I'm going to answer this with Dakota.
Okay.
Yes, Dakota. Conflict Bosnia are kind of a waste. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Because you're not able to fix them, and police actions are worse than any war.
They are, because there are not. When
Yeah.
we first went into Somalia, whenever of course, I escort the Marines in
Right.
and take them in, and of course, we had to sit on the beach and everything and wait for them.
Right.
And we had our weapons and everything. They handed us our ammunition in a plastic baggie, and we had to put it in our left front pocket.
Yep. And it better not
And
leave.
when we got back, that ammunition still better be in that exact same Ziploc baggie.
I was trucking into now. Like I said, I was on the back end. It was stabilization force by the time I went to Bosnia, but
Right.
so everything was like, man, rules of engagement were like lockdown, and we're traveling. I was running trucks and sitting there. I've got my M16. I've got my 10 rounds of ammunition I'm allowed, and like you said, it could not leave. I better have that when I got back because they were going to count it.
Right.
And it was like, man, really, and then we're over there, and there's still landmines all over the place. There's still stuff, but we can't do anything. And
that was a whole different ball game over there.
That was a mess. And So, then I went on a nice long spell of not going on anywhere. And then,
I wish I could have.
and honestly, I was supposed to have been out. I was going to get out, and I was done with it. I was going to get out, and
Right.
I woke up and it's like, yeah, I'll re-enlist. Why not?
Right.
And anyway, I ended up circling back around. I ended up, of course, 03 happens. I'm over there in 02, offloading equipment off the pre-post ships.
Right.
And that was in November. And when we left, the guy that was our liaison over there said, I'll see you guys in January. We're like,
Yeah.
no, you ain't seeing me in January. Yeah, we did. He wasn't wrong. And so we were over there for the initial invasion in 03, and then I went back in 04, and then I was done. I had enough of that. I was like, yep, I'm out.
Yeah.
So,
well, see, in 04, that's when we done.
That was nutty. 04 was crazy, man.
It was.
Yeah.
04, we was just pulling out of Somalia. So we went from Somalia to Bosnia. No,
well, yeah,
Bosnia to Haiti, then straight to Somalia.
Yeah, 94, 90, from like 93 to 98. That little window there was insane. The amount of stuff going on, and
yeah, people don't know.
And it was all police actions. Not a bit of it was war, And but it was, as far as legally on paper,
right.
That's why.
Well,
honestly,
1990 until I got out, then I think it was 2008. The only thing I missed in between that time was Afghanistan.
Yeah. See, I didn't make Afghanistan, and I'm glad. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
I was in Fort Polk on a training mission with 10th Mountain when 9/11 happened, and I was stationed at Fort Campbell. I was with 101st, stationed at Fort Campbell, and we went down to help them. And we got back to Campbell, and it was like the place was on lockdown central. And I just knew we were going to be going over there. And as soon as they announced what, Taliban and all that stuff, spent my whole rest of my time there supporting 5th Special Forces, getting in the middle of the night, all night long. Cargo.
I never knew that it snowed in Louisiana until I went to Fort Polk.
Listen, you can go from a mosquito swarm to a snowstorm.
Yeah. And you can have 8 inches of snow and it's still covered with mosquitoes.
Oh yeah, biggest mosquitoes I've ever seen in my life down there. It was. Only thing I enjoyed about going down there, and I went a lot when I was stationed in Campbell, Fort Sill and Campbell both. I spent a lot of time at Fort Polk, but the food was good. That's the only thing I say. The food was good.
Oh, it was. Oh, I loved leaving base when we was down there doing training. That was, man.
Yeah, having the crawfish boils.
That's where I got introduced to gator tail. So
yeah. Oh, see, that's where I learned what real jambalaya tastes like, and and real crawfish boil. Dakota, I'm seeing your comments. You are 100% correct. I'm not gonna. That is National City is the operator in the weapons unloaded policy. Sitting ducks. Yep, pointless, and led to costing some life already. 100%. I don't disagree.
And I have to apologize because I can't read the screen.
With it being that way, I've got the chat up there, but it's hard to read when it's in that small. I know. What Dakota's talking about. I mean, which mean you've been through it, with police action, but there's part of me I kind of understand on one hand, but on the other hand, I know what the military is actually trained to do. We don't want them doing here.
Right. Yeah.
And so, it is, I don't know what good, bad, indifferent, what it's actually going to result in. I don't know. But like you said, I mean, when you can't defend yourself, you're kind of in a, you're in a sitting position.
It's a catch-22 right now.
Yeah, it really is. Because if you shoot somebody, and especially if it's an American citizen, then you got a whole other legal issue you got to deal with. And if they, heaven forbid, they're unarmed. But
well, that's like in Iraq and back in 2000. I was there 2003, 4, and 5.
Right.
And rules of engagement changed every day.
Oh yeah.
It was Wild West.
Yeah. When we went in 2003, it was like, if they're there and they got a weapon, they're a target. I mean, it was like, that was,
it was like, it was even at one point, if they come in and the car gets in within 100 feet, and you've got signs on it that says, do not get within 100 feet or you will be shot.
Right.
And all I know was I was coming home. and my
Yeah.
brothers were coming home.
Well, that was it. I was a uh, Dakota said that's because military only puts bases in the most miserable locations.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you'll see the world, the
Oh
armpit.
yeah,
But
you will. And it's like, well, I'll become a scout. Scout, that's fun. That's a fun job and everything.
yeah,
No, it wasn't.
yeah, it ruined camping for me. I'll promise you that.
Yeah.
But no, that was like you said, '03. It was like wide open. I mean, it
Yeah.
was wild,
It,
wild
it
west.
was
There was
wild.
basically no rules, and
Yeah.
by '04, it had totally changed. And and
Yeah.
I don't even know after that. I talked to my buddies and stuff, and they were like, it just kept getting worse. And
Well, see, it's the National Guard. You're required to do a 15-month tour in the combat zone.
right,
Active duty, which they said 6 months, was it was
6
always
months or a
3 months.
year. Yeah,
And yeah, and we was there and see units coming, go home, then
come back.
coming back for
Mhm.
deployment. And I was like,
Happened
and
with
there,
mine.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
we were.
at National Guard, we only had a year downtime.
Yeah. So we were the
And then
unit
go
I
back.
was in was a HET, heavy equipment transport, running the tanks and stuff.
Okay,
And we were on a 6 month, 6 months there, 6 months home, 6 months there, 6 months home.
right,
And I'll promise you, there's days. I mean, don't get me wrong, 6 months is a whole lot easier to count down, but there was a lot of days I'd have rather just done the year, and,
right,
and
yeah,
then had a longer downtime. But
yeah,
um, the wasn't the way they had it set up, and so basically, I always it was like yeah, you might have come home, but you never really came home.
right,
Uh,
yeah. And
but
I've had to deal with that a lot. I've lost a lot of friends, and actually, unfortunately, I lost a lot of family because of that.
yeah,
And
and it's I got real fortunate. I had some of my compadres got injured. The two that we had killed, um, actually was a bad deal. They got ran over, dude. One knucklehead and I don't even know what they call them, but anyway, I won't say it on
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Anyway,
Well, yeah,
ran them over,
understandable.
ran them over with a car,
Yeah,
and I was back stateside. I hadn't deployed that time, and had to escort them from Dover. One of them
right,
from Dover home, and
yeah,
but anyway, and yes, Dakota, I myself sometimes I think about where would I be if I was in that spot, and
right.
it's
Well, when we first went over there, that was my first deployment with the National Guard
oh, okay,
in West Virginia National Guard,
right,
and at that time, I was in the position of an 88 Mike
all right, okay, all right,
uh, on the Hemet,
right, okay, yeah,
and then we got over there, and we scout platoon was running out of guys, so
right.
and then they came back and said, well, we look back at your record, you're the closest person we have that
Fit
could
this.
transfer over to scout. Oh, by the way, you don't officially hold an MOS.
Oh, yeah.
National Guard, go figure. And
That's one of those things, Dakota, that I will promise you, you have to learn to live with. And it's,
yeah,
and just trust in, like I know for myself, just trust in God's forgiveness.
yeah,
And, but it was nuts over there. Like I said, I went in, of course, went in the Marine Corps, and I got assigned to transportation. So that became my MOS was
right.
light vehicle, light vehicle driver,
I
Humvees and
see.
biplanes.
I liked driving the het.
Yeah, yeah.
It
That
was
Hemmett's I
you
think it's a
can't
beast, man.
with the hets you can't stop it. The Hemmets were not as
Yeah, they weren't,
unstoppable
but they
as
were solid. That's the whole thing with them
oh
Hemmets. Man, they're just solid. But I did the PLS, the one that was
okay,
the extended version. Yeah,
right.
but no, them hets. You know, we got lucky. '03, part of '04. They hadn't figured out that them things weren't as tough as they looked like they were.
Right.
I mean, mechanically they were, but they didn't realize that cab was just soft skin like anything
Well,
else.
actually, the Hemmets was the same way. It
Yeah.
was
Oh, yeah.
all
That cab was
aluminum
soft
cab
skin.
with aluminum roll bar,
Right. It
and
just looked mean. And
right,
the head, that thing's 12 feet wide at the mirrors. It's 12 feet tall in the air. It
Yeah.
weighs, it's hauling tanks. And if it can haul a tank, how big is it,
Right,
And
exactly. If
um,
I could buy my ultimate vehicle, it would be a hit and turn it into a camper.
well, I spent a year of my life camping in one of them things, so I won't. But
Actually, I could take my camper and put it on the back of it. So and
right,
then
I want one. I've wanted one for a long time for a total different reason. I've seen guys do it, and that's for a recovery vehicle, like a record recovery. Because I mean,
yeah,
you got twin 55,000 pound Tulsa winches sitting up on the back of that thing,
yeah.
um, and you can pull a tank with it. I mean,
What?
it's yeah, and it's 500 horsepower. I mean, it's low gear. They had that thing
Yeah,
governed to 45, and which is creeping,
yeah.
but I
But actually, if you know the mechanics really well,
well.
you can take care of that.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, I used to want, we talked about it all the time, but I put my I had a load on them. When them things are loaded, man, they'll roll. And
Oh yeah.
you mean to say Blue Falcon? Yeah, something like that, Dakota.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, the but we uh, I had a downhill run, and so I kicked that thing into neutral, and I got that dude up to about 70, and
Oh
in
crap.
neutral,
Yeah,
right?
that's kind of like doing 55 in a
Humvee.
Humvee.
Right, it's
Yeah,
pretty
you're
wild,
you're
and
entering the Earth's atmosphere at that point. It's
I mean, it was rolling, and I got it done. Of course, once it slowed down and got it back into gear, and I'm back to 45, then it really felt slow. But
yeah,
I was like, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, I don't think I want this thing going any faster than that. That was scary. Yeah, trying to
yeah,
stop
yeah,
it would have been a monster.
right.
But I love driving them. I mean, they were fun.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
glad
they're
that's
fun.
what I was in over there, um, because of what it brought. But I mean, but they one of our sister units, they had a guy, they hit the rear wheel of that thing with an RPG, and it kept going. And
Yeah,
so that just lent to the idea that this thing was, and
right.
it can
Yeah,
move car. You just run over stuff with that thing. And
yeah,
but so it bought us a lot of time for a long time. But
right.
you
Well,
know,
actually, whenever they transferred me over to the Scout platoons, and of course we had down these at the time, but
right.
people don't understand now. There was no doors on it.
Oh yeah, it was before the up armor, before the all
Yeah, I
the
mean, you
yeah,
had a mount and a 50 cal on the
yeah,
front and back. You had an M60 or M60 and the grenade launcher. I can't remember right now, but
yeah.
yeah,
Mark 19.
and
Yeah,
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 on the
yeah,
center ones, and it was three
yeah.
vehicles,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
three
And
vehicles, three guys per vehicle.
yeah, I don't realize just how little protection you really have, and it's like you're out there living in it. But yeah, I watched later when they did all the upgrades, and these guys are getting all this stuff, and I'm like, man, where was all that stuff?
Well,
But they got it developed because us guys that went over there in the beginning and had to learn the hard lessons.
we was still in scrap metal
Yeah,
in Kuwait and welding it onto it.
we did a bunch of
Um,
that. The
uh,
second, let's see, yeah, second deployment. By the end of the second deployment, um, they had that old pig iron, like you said, it's steel, just old plate steel that they had cut and bolted and strapped on that truck, and just had windows cut out, and yeah,
well,
made it
the,
hotter than it was when we started. But
right. Well, actually, the Humvees that didn't have a top on it at all,
right.
they got the bright idea. They just take two two sheets of 3/4 inch plywood and put them together, and then fill them with sandbags in between.
That so sounds like
You're safe.
yeah, that sounds right. 100%. Yeah, that's why, like I said, military grade. I'm not interested.
No,
But,
no, no, no.
but yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed laughing, talking about some of this
I have
stuff.
too. Actually, you got Amy and Chris' phone number and that
Um, oh,
Leonard
you talking
Mountain.
about
Leonard Mountain.
Leonard Mountain? I think I've got their number. I know I've got their card. I've got a way to get a hold of them. I can email something. Yeah.
Get a hold of them. And Amy's my sister, right? You just say, hey, Troy wants you to give me his phone number.
Okay, all right, I'll get it from them. Okay, all right, yeah,
Or,
and but yeah, I'll get it from them. Yeah, you know,
I've
uh,
loved this. It's been fun.
Oh yeah. And yeah, finally I just get, sit here and just have a chit chat.
Yeah.
Which is the fun thing about the hangouts. We can do this. There's no
Well,
script.
that's the thing about it. What makes this entire group so great? You know, I've made comments and stuff on y'all's live, liking and
Right.
stuff like that,
Hmm.
and love everything y'all doing, and got to meet everybody and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it's
Oh yeah. It's
my
just
my the VA has me a housekeeper comes in 3 days a week and stuff,
right.
like,
Right.
and got talking about it, and then she comes from 3 o'clock to even to 6 o'clock, so
Right.
she's actually caught a couple of
Oh,
lives
right. Okay.
and stuff. I drive and I join on in and stuff like that. She's like, "Holy crap! I, I didn't know YouTube was like this.
Uh, there,
Y'all are family."
yeah, it is. It's we say community, but yeah, it is. It's become a family, and that's why
Yeah,
even when Keith and I, made the decision to stop,
right,
being active in producing video, chasing what we were doing,
right,
we weren't leaving the community. We weren't going to
right.
leave this. We weren't going to step
Well,
away.
that's why I had to jump up now. We we know each other.
Right.
I've shared books and
You're right.
everything, so I had to come up
Oh yeah,
just to
I
say, hey,
appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it because I promise you, when you're sitting here by yourself, it gets a little rough sometimes. That's why I
it
went
does.
on with.
Yeah,
That's why I went on with Jack, because I knew we could have those chit chats.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
Man, Dakota, I don't think I would want to go 58 in a Bradley. I don't even know if I'd want to go 41 in a Bradley.
Oh,
Man,
it's nothing. There's nothing nice about it.
no, no, no. There's
That's
nothing nice about a Bradley vehicle. Um,
no.
I
It's
mean, no, no, we're wrong to the to the 11 Bravos and all them to get a ride. They'll
yeah.
take it.
Oh yeah.
But I
But I
actually,
tell you what, I would take that any day over riding an AAV
oh,
from ship to beach.
that's a rough. That's I can speak from experience, man. The landing
No,
craft and the AAVs and stuff, man. That's a rough ride
no.
in that water.
And that's how we went. Actually, we were actually the last people.
Hey,
We're,
Keith dropped in. Yeah, what's up, bro? Hey,
hey, how's
yeah,
it going? But
yeah.
I found it was an article that somebody, one of the other buddies of mine sent, and it was in the Cincinnati Times
Hmm.
from 1994, and they had the big front cover was the last troops pull out of Somalia, and it
Right.
was my ship. And
Oh wow.
whoever took the picture, it was as we was coming out off the beach
Oh
to
okay.
come back out to the ship, and
Hmm.
all the helicopters
Yeah.
strafing the beach behind, cover fire behind us.
My outside of being on a port, and bringing them off ship or on ship, which trying to put a het and a het trailer on a ship is a trip.
Oh yeah,
But on and off actually. But of course, them guys, them things were packed in there, and we had to get the trailer
oh
out. I
yeah,
remember when we picked them up, and of course, none of those guys on that ship knew anything about how that piece of equipment worked. And
right.
I had the trailer in there, and it was hooked up. Wasn't even hooked up, and they're like, "How are we going to get these trailers out of here?" I said, "You're going to love this." And it has an auxiliary power unit on it, right? So I
Yeah.
fired up the auxiliary power unit, got over there on the controls, lifted that thing up, and crab walked it out of its spot and moved it
Uh,
forward. And they were able to hook it up and take off. And I sat there and we crab walked about a dozen of them things out of that hold,
oh man,
and they were like,
and that takes a while too. It's
yeah,
not a
it does.
quick.
It was all day.
Yeah,
But they were like, they were just fascinated with how that thing could
yeah.
move on its own with no truck. You could just,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm
Well,
like, it's,
you know the size of a LST,
yeah, mhm, yeah.
and to think that there's 18 AAVs and just in the belly,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
not to
crazy.
mention what's up on top of the main deck and stuff.
Yeah. The
And
only the only uh, you're my buddy, so I won't call it a boat. But the only ship that uh, I used to
but
mess
you
with
know
Navy. I used to mess with Navy guys
that's
all
what
the
we're
time.
for.
Yeah, call it a boat. Hey, boat.
Yeah.
A boat. That ain't a boat. It's a ship. No, it's a boat. Anyway, floats
Yeah.
on the water, right? It's a boat. Anyway, but no.
Right. Yeah.
But the only one that I spent any time on, which was just a week actually, on the water, was the USS Essex. Um, they had
I know it.
outfitted that. They had outfitted it, redeferred, went all the way through and rebuilt that thing in 92, 91, 92, that period of time. And
I remember because that was a big deal.
yeah, it was a huge deal. And so but we got to go out for a week. They brought our Humvees, which is what we took down there. They brought
Right.
1.5 howitzers. They brought all kinds of equipment to put in
Right.
there and see how it needed to fit. And we rode when we floated from San Diego to Pendleton.
Right.
And we get up there, which we didn't. We're just on the boat. We're on the ship. We don't know where we're at. They didn't tell us
Right.
where we were
Yeah.
going. We're just out on the water. And
Right.
next thing you know, they're like, next morning, they're like, "Hey, tomorrow, y'all guys are landing." We're like, "We're landing where?" They're like, "Oh, you're landing on your beachhead there on Pendleton." Okay, well, how are we getting there? Because we only brought a few Humvees and we didn't have a lot of
Right.
equipment. It's like, oh, don't worry. And so we got onto the old flat bottom boats, and drove them Humvees on them, backed them on, and backed out of that ship.
I drove that. I rode one of those going out to the beach
Wow, yeah,
at Little Creek doing my coxswain training.
right.
And
we
I rolled it over because you drop the cables off the beach, and then you beach yourself and you use cables to pull yourself out.
right.
But when them waves, if you're not watching them waves and it hits to the side,
It to the side, it'll dump it. Yep. And
yeah.
it was funny. We hit that beach, of course, drop the door. We drive off out on the beach, and drive on back to our part. But anyway, it was funny. I just had this so now when I watch D-Day movies and stuff like that or landing, I'm like, I know what that's like.
Yeah. Well, see, that was the thing about the LSTs. That was the only ship that was designed to do that. It was a disposable ship, and our sister ship actually done beach itself or attempted to at Virginia Beach. Is a big political thing,
right? Oh yeah,
it done the same.
Yeah,
thing
Norfolk, Virginia Beach, that area. Yeah, that's like just glue your hand to your hat because that's all you're doing up there anyway.
Yeah,
but, Dakota, just asked my lieutenant about the road. They didn't tell me we were about to cross. Pretty sure he's getting some disability for his back and shoulder. Yeah. I will tell you this.
I've got some stories.
I sort of say
that's not going to be talked about.
Well, all I'll say is that I Dukes of Hazzard did a Humvee ambulance one time.
Right.
Yeah. And all that, and that was just one of those. We got a call. Guy got hurt, and the doc said, "Get me there." Okay. Well, I looked, and here was the straight line. What I couldn't see on that map was the ditch.
Yeah.
Got out there, and man, it was like we come in. He's like, of course, we seen it. He's like, "We're gonna do," and I just hit the gas a little harder. I said, "Hang on."
Yeah. Well, Fort Bragg was the same way.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Oh yeah. And then you had Fort Pickett down in Virginia.
Didn't make that one
worse.
Yeah, Fort Sill. That place was nuts. I was there for 2 years, and it was great if it wasn't raining. Problem was every time we went to the field, it was raining. But
it's a mess.
Well, I talked about the PLS earlier, and reversion Hemet. I found out there on those tank trails and stuff, you can fishtail a PLS because I did it in the mud, sliding sideways.
Right.
Of course, I was that guy. I was willing to, I didn't care. I mean, it's their equipment. Yeah. I'm gonna. If you tell me it's got a limitation, I'm gonna find it. And
it was always whenever. Well, actually, it went from the Navy and over when I first joined National Guard. If there was something stupid to do, call Scruffy. Scruffy will do it.
There you go. Well, my thing was I'd spent 4 years, even though transportation was my MOS. Right. I spent 4 years assigned to infantry units.
Right.
So I had to do everything they had to do. Right. So there was no, we had a vehicle. That was the extent of our benefit, But if they went to the field, we went to the field. If they were road marching, we were, you had to do all the training. And so, which was great, especially the weapons training. I'm glad I had it, But then I come to the Army. Now, I'd spent 4 years where it was all Marine infantry, no, and the way it was, strict, disciplined, regimented, craziness. And then I go to an Army transportation unit where there was no discipline.
Oh yeah. Well, at that time when I first went over, I was still a Spec 4.
Oh yeah,
I was E4
that's me
Mafia.
all the way,
Oh, yeah,
all the
and
way.
I lived it.
Well, you gotta once I figured out what that was, because I came over, I'd been a corporal in the Marines, and
Right.
I
Yeah.
come over and I'm a Spec 4 in the Army, right?
Yeah.
And I figured out that those weren't the same thing real quick.
No.
And once I figured that out, it was like, well, okay, when in Rome, and
Well,
I figured out
well,
what the deal was.
y'all were like us. The Navy and Marines.
Yeah.
You had the responsibility
Oh
of
yeah.
somebody
Of an
one
E5
rank
or an
above you
E6. Yeah.
in the
I mean,
army.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had more responsibility as an E3 in the Marine Corps than I
Right.
did
Yeah.
sometimes as a sergeant in the Army.
Yeah.
And
And
it's like, and once I figured that out,
oh,
it's like, okay, all right, I can be on. And I floated around. Let's see, that was 90. I went I went 2, 3, almost 4 years as a Spec 4 in the Army.
right.
And I always look at, of course, I said, yeah, I need more money. I'm tired of being, I kept hearing,
Right.
if you don't like it, get promoted.
Yeah.
So I got smart and decided to get promoted. But anyway, but no, I was like, yeah, I was that specialist sergeant major kind of guy, I was like,
Well,
yeah,
yeah, that's where I was.
yeah. But and in fact, when we went, we're over on time, but I'll finish this story. But when I was over in '03, the first time we went to Iraq, Kuwait and Iraq, um, one of my many jobs I'd had as I bounced around was administrative. So I knew how to do awards, knew how to do post deployment, pre deployment
Right.
paperwork, knew how to do a lot of the stuff that you got to do. And so they
Right.
sucked me up into the office to get us out of there. So I had to line up all the classes we had to go to. I had to basically get us out of the country, make sure we had our flights, make sure we had our manifest logs,
Yeah.
get us out of the country. And
Yeah.
so I was working directly with my XO. And
Yeah.
anyway, I loved working with that guy because even though he was a lieutenant that was about to be captain, he was
Right.
like a specialist. He had
Right.
a countdown timer on his laptop to his date he was out. I mean, that dude was,
Yeah.
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 But anyway, we were walking, and he had been all over Kuwait and Iraq. He had been all over with me doing different stuff.
Right.
And everywhere we went, I knew somebody.
Right.
And we were walking across, and I heard my name, hollered my name a pretty good ways away. Looked over, kind of squinted a little bit. Holy smoke, sir! Gave him a
Yeah.
salute. Come over as doggone colonel, right? That had
Yeah.
been my battalion commander a few days, back when I was still a specialist. And
Right.
hollered at me, hey, blah blah blah. Caught up. Where's Sergeant Major? Oh, he's over in the tent. Oh, hey, cool. I gotta go see him. That kind of thing. And
Yeah.
we walk off, and he goes, how'd you know him? And I'm like, oh, he was my battalion commander back in '97. Yeah. And they're
Right.
like, he's like, and he knew you. And I'm like, yeah. And
Well.
I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I said, listen, that battalion's like a fraternity. Once you're in that battalion, that's a connection for life. And I said, that's just
Well,
how it is.
it's like when we was over in Iraq in 03, 04, 05 and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Actually, ran into guys down around Anaconda was where I
Okay.
ran into a lot of people that well, one of them I served with them in the Navy, but they were working Halliburton.
Yeah, yeah. I got offered, but I know some days I wish I'd have took it. But
Yeah, I should have, yeah. And then too, I was down at Anaconda.
Mhm.
Of course we was traveling, and anytime we got a chance to get a real hot meal,
Mhm.
we'd stop
Got
by
all over that.
Anaconda, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, its truck broke down. Well, yeah, we'll spend a week there.
Robbie, you have a great week, and we'll see you next weekend.
Take care, brother.
Yeah, and I think y'all said y'all are heading north. You're traveling next weekend, so safe travels. And anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap it up out of here myself. That
Okay.
alarm clock's gonna be merciless, but we
Okay.
can stay here and we can do this all night. I mean, that's
Oh, whenever the VA gave me the first home health care provider, so what housemaid or
yeah,
whatever.
I
you
get it,
wanna call him. He was actually in the National Guard. West Virginia's divided into, you got the Northern National Guard, Southern National Guard. We done 2 flood duties together and was in Iraq the same time together. So
yeah. crazy. Dakota,
Yeah.
we were doing some driver training when he was deploying. An up armored Humpy barely made it back, and the mechanics were very upset. Yeah,
Yeah. And think
yeah.
about the Humvee. There's always a couple little bolts back there on them rear ends
Oh,
that somehow
listen,
they never.
I had my hat catch on fire. The electronic dashboard caught on fire.
Yeah.
Um, and we pulled in. Well, my platoon, they left me and my co-driver there with just the truck. They took everything else. We'll be back in a week, kind of thing. We're hanging out on base camp. Well, everything kind of went sideways over there, and you know, had anyway through some back channel email home. This person email got communication to my commander that hey, we're alive.
Right.
This is where we're
Yeah.
at, and
Yeah.
I said, he said, well, can you get back here? And I'm like, well, it's going to take some creative mechanical engineering, but yeah, I might be able to get back there. And I had to find an alternator. There you go. I like that. Had to find an alternator, had to find a battery. I didn't even need batteries that worked. I just needed them to close the system. But I
Yeah.
had that thing so rigged up. Once I got it started, there was no shutting it off. Because if you
Oh,
shut it off, you had to jump it again. You had to slave
yeah.
start it again.
Yeah.
And I drove that thing back to Kuwait. And I come rolling in, and I, parked it, and boom, 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 got everything, all our stuff, mechanic chief, the chief that was over our maintenance shop, he came into me. He goes, I got one question. He's actually, I got two. He said, one, how'd that thing catch on fire? He said, and two, how did you get that thing to run? And I'm like, well, see,
Yeah.
it went like this. I said, the metal box had a dent in the lid. And I said, that dent hit a solenoid, arced, and caught it on fire. I said, now that's how I got it to run and get back here. Duct tape and prayers, a couple of pieces of bubble gum, and some paper clips. He said, okay, how'd you really get? I said, have you looked at how that alternator's mounted in there? Have you looked at that? I mean, have you looked at this? I mean, the final battery I was able to find was a gel battery out of a Humvee. It shouldn't have even
Right.
been in there, but it closed the loop.
Right.
So that it would, and yeah, that was it. I did just enough to get it running. That was it. Yeah. No light. No nothing.
Yeah. I got to show you what I pulled off today for last
Okay.
few days. But if I can pull it, if I can figure out how to scan
tomatoes. Look at you off of the plant right behind you there.
Yes.
Awesome stuff.
And these are actually, I'm not going to eat them or anything. These are actually, I'm going to save all the seeds for next year.
Okay, replant the seeds. Cool.
And actually, the majority of them be gifted away to other people,
right,
in the family.
Right. There you go. That is awesome stuff. Right there in the windowsill. That is awesome stuff, man. Yeah.
I thought I was planting cucumbers because I thought that was the seeds I saved from last year.
Right.
And evidently they wasn't cucumbers.
Yes, Rebecca. MacGyver ingenuity. That's one way to put it. We called it Southern ingenuity where I come from, but actually it was the fact that I was in a war zone and I didn't want to be there. So
well, it's like when you had a PTO that goes out in the middle of a town that
you
probably
you don't want to be there.
Be there at
dark.
There's things come apart and things get directly wired. That's not supposed to be directly wired.
Let's get out of there. Listen, Troy, this has been fun, man, but I know I need to get out of here. That alarm clock's going to be merciless. Oh, no, you're fine, man. I've enjoyed it. We'll have to do it again sometime. And
get hold of Amy, and
I'll get a hold of Chris and Amy and get your number and whatnot. And then so anytime you see us up, man, if we're filling in, man, you're up and you're able, jump on, man.
I will. And if nothing else, I know you got something else going on too, maybe, possibly.
I'm working on it.
And at 10 Killer.
Oh, that, yeah. I don't know how we're going to pull that off. But
well, see, another YouTuber got a hold of two guys in New York since at that time I hadn't left this house in 3 years because I couldn't walk and stuff.
Right.
And they drove from New York down here to pick me up in Southeast West Virginia and tucked me out to Mid-America.
Right.
So,
wow, that is awesome.
It was so great. We stopped on the way and helped other YouTubers on their homestead and stuff. This is a family. I can't say how much.
Oh, I
Y'all,
get it, man. I get it, and I mean, love where you're from, but we always say, even with with Ed Kirkpatrick and all the others, man, and even Scotty that's up in Boston, and
right?
it's like, man, one of our other guys, Jeff, lives up in New York State and everything. It's like, man, glad y'all are out there. Wish y'all were closer, but yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, it's like there's a lot of us out there that cannot
yeah.
or could not do anything. We're living through y'all.
Oh yeah, and we're
And
appreciative of that.
yeah,
We very much do.
yeah. And
And
basically, truthfully, it saved my life having y'all.
well,
And then whenever it got to where they started doing that, and everybody's so close, you
yeah.
don't know how much or what it has done.
I
The
know.
Lord
Well,
blesses it all.
Well, like I said, humble to be a part of that for you, brother. And
Yeah,
and now that we've shared some conversation about the old days,
yeah, yeah. Now I got to figure out how to get off this sucker. So I don't.
well, there you go. It's just you just hit the old leave button, hit the X, and it'll
I
take
got
you
to
out of there.
find it. Oh, I
Yeah,
found it. There it is. I love all y'all in the chat.
Troy,
You're all
good to see you,
family.
brother. And I'm gonna.
Heaven, but
We'll see you, bud. Everybody else that's still hanging around, appreciate you hanging with us. And
yep.
Dakota, appreciate the comments, sharing your time and the stories, and everybody hanging out.
Yep.
Appreciate it. We're 10 minutes over. I got to get out of here.
Yep.
Next
Yep.
Sunday, Homestead Sunday, and as far as I know,
Finally figured
everything
it
will be.
out.
There you go. You're okay, Troy. There you go. He gone. Anyway, appreciate y'all hanging out. And we will see you all back out of here. As we say here all the time, prepare for the unexpected and keep it local. Now let's see if I can find Hank. Where is Hank? There's Hank. See y'all later, guys.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.